Down. We're back with you. I'm Jeff Messer. Kat, the High Hill Gamer, is lurking around somewhere, lost in a Raiders of the Lost Ark museum of pops. Right
Yes.
there we go. Absolutely, Kat. Good to see you guys. Jack's hanging back. He's in the background, playing the Wizard of Oz today. Don't look behind the curtain. Don't
Don't
look behind the curtain.
don't look behind the curtain.
So what's up, Kat? How you been doing?
I've been good. I actually went out and drove to my local comic book store and picked up a stack of comics. Like it was a
All
lot.
right. Good for
Yeah.
you.
So I've
Are
got
they
a lot of catching up to do. So
new comics, back issues?
yeah,
What are we talking about here?
both actually. So
Ah,
I got uh House of X
okay.
issue 3 to 5, which just came out, and then Power of X issue 2 to I think 4 is the one that's out
Gosh,
now.
what are these X Power of X things? We've never heard about those on this show. Nobody on this show has ever talked about those books.
Right?
Yeah,
No, not
exactly.
even.
All
And
right,
then I picked up the sleeper hit, Something's Killing the Children. So I'm
right.
actually really excited to read that and see what all the hoopla is about. And then I picked up Carnage and Spawn 300.
Oh,
So,
that's right. Spawn 300 is out. All
yeah.
right, I've been rolling up on the comic shop as well. Although
Ooh, what did you got?
I've got like some weird stuff from like the past couple weeks. The issue number 15 of DC's Superman with the Legion of Superheroes on the cover,
Ooh.
taking over. This is the one that's setting up everything yet to come. So that one's been out for a couple of weeks now. Gorgeous artwork though. Ivan Rice, the artist on it, is just. I mean, I'll show you here. See, it's like you check out this giant splash page of
Oh,
the
that's pretty.
Legion of Superheroes. I mean, it's like you're dealing with 3 dozen characters and all this detail, and this guy just an incredible artist. So
Yeah, it
definitely
is.
worth checking out if you're a DC fan and you're in on the Legion of Superheroes as it returns, which is coming very soon. Then I got this weird book, the Inferior Five, #1. There we are.
Ooh.
Yeah. Keith Giffen and Jeff Lemire doing some obscure DC characters from the past, and not quite sure. It has to do with something has to do with the Invasion miniseries of the late '80s that Todd McFarlane was an artist on before he did Spawn. So a little Spawn
Okay.
related sort of thing here. Like these characters were the invaders who invaded the DC universe, and this guy over here is the Peacemaker, who is an obscure character from DC. Not quite sure. I haven't read it yet, but it looks interesting. So
Okay.
I got
So
that one as well.
is that a new storyline, or is that like a storyline that's been going on?
Yeah, brand new. Issue #1 just came out last week. So,
Okay.
and this is the variant cover that I picked up. There's another cover that's out
That's a
there.
pretty dope cover though. I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. It's like there's the. Hang on, let's see. Whoops. There we go. Inferior Five, #1. Uh,
Okay.
Keith Giffen, Jeff Lemire, and of course Keith Giffen we interviewed at Heroes Con for our
Yeah.
show, which people will eventually get to see. All right, what else have I got? Some more hot books. Oh, and this just came out today, issue 3 of the History of the Marvel Universe. I talked about this last week because I was late to the game. I got issues 1 and 2 last week, and now issue 3 is out. Mark Waid writing the definitive history of the Marvel Universe, walking us through from the beginning, things that are familiar, things that are being retold. And I haven't read it yet, but my assumption is that it's this is the definitive Marvel history going forward. And like this issue, we get the Fantastic Four introduced at the beginning of this one. And who else do we get? We get Iron Man introduced. Hang on. Oops, there he is over there. Iron Man. And it's kind of told in this different way. It's not just your typical word balloon comic. It's like a textbook comic book. I don't know. It's kind of weird. So what else? 2 more. I got 2 more to share. This series has been going for a while. It's on issue 3 now. Star Wars Target Vader. They brought back this obscure character from the old Marvel comics, this bounty hunter character that was only in the old Marvel comics in the late '70s, and now he's been brought back hunting down Darth Vader. So it's all pretty cool. Lots of bounty hunters in this. Lots of bounty hunter action. And last but not least, this one, and I'm really looking forward to this, is the J.J. Abrams and Henry Abrams Sarah Pacelli, Spider-Man. We talked about this a little bit last week. Interesting though, because J.J. Abrams is of course going to go work for Warner's and DC ostensibly, but he's writing a Spider-Man book now. So we'll see what happens. And I got something else really cool in the mail from a Kickstarter that I supported back over the summer, and it's a science fiction graphic novel. And they had all these little perks that came with it. Like check it out. So I got a signed trading card, right?
Oh, that's cool.
Card. Yeah. And then there's like a postcard that came with it as well. It's the book is called Exilium, is the name of the book. So there's a little postcard, science fiction themed, and then they've got a little advert for themselves here. They're going to be at New York Comic-Con coming up. So these guys will be appearing there. But here's a weird part. It came with this little thing, right? See this?
That's cool.
Thing? Check it out. It is it's a jump drive.
That's cool.
With one of their characters, one of the alien characters from the book. So that's pretty clever. A little clever thing these guys are doing. And it came with a nice little art print of the characters, like a little science fiction.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. And and wait, there's actually a book that goes with it. See, that's all the toys.
You got all kinds of great goodies. Yeah. Look at you.
And here's the book that goes with it. Now check it. The size of this book is an odd size. The guys who did it are from Australia, but they put it out in America too. But if you look comparative to, say, that Spider-Man issue, check it out. It is.
Oh, wow.
It's not quite digest size, but it is smaller. It's it's a whole book. It's the entire 5-issue series story that these guys did. So yeah, I will let everybody know how it is.
Yeah, please do.
It looked like a lot of fun. They were kind of saying, "Oh, if you're fans of Serenity or Battlestar Galactica or all those things that you would kind of dig this." And so I'm a sucker for that kind of sentimental marketing, and I fell for it. So there you go.
I would have too. Don't even feel bad. I would have too. They would have been like, you like Battlestar Galactica? Yes.
There. But Battlestar Galactica coming back in a reboot.
Yes, I saw that. I'm a little nervous about it. I hope it does good.
Yeah. I don't know. I see. As a kid, I was a huge fan of the original Battlestar Galactica, which is a little dopey and very kind of space fantasy. And then when they rebooted it, I finally got on board with it, but it was a little too dark and a little too derivative of the world we were living in, because it was like a couple of years after September 11th.
Yeah,
it's been that long. But I also, when I watched the pilot movie of the Ron Moore Battlestar Galactica in 2003, I thought, hey, stylistically, they're stealing filming style and shots from the TV show Serenity, which had just failed a year earlier.
Yeah, it did.
And hadn't come out on DVD yet, and became the kind of hit that it became after the fact. Some of the camera work and so forth. But as far as Battlestar Galactica went, I dug the first season, and I really liked the second season. Mm-hmm. And I thought they lost their minds the further along they went. I can't even remember if I saw all of I know I saw all of the fourth season, but I don't remember if I paid attention to all of the fourth season.
You know what? I don't think I watched the fourth season, in all honesty.
Yeah, it just got, and the thing is, there was a lot of controversy of changing the character's gender, and we've talked about this before with race, just this arbitrary changing. So they changed, Dirk Benedict, the actor who played Starbuck originally, and he played Face Man on the A-Team. He's a good-looking dude,
right.
Cigar smoking, swaggery dude, and they're like, oh no, we're gonna make that character a woman.
Yeah,
and they cast Katie Sackhoff in that role, and she was okay. Season 1, she was okay. The more the show went on, the less stable that character became. Like I don't know if she was told to play it that way, but I was like, no one is going to follow this irrational, unstable, psychotic person. It's like there was no nuance, and I really hated that character, the way that she portrayed it. And there was a lot of things in that show that people remember it with nostalgia and go, oh, that Battlestar Galactica was brilliant. And I'm like, I defy you to go watch it now and tell me that You
And
know,
still
every
brilliant.
every third episode is like a filler episode where you're like, I don't know that logically what happened in that episode makes any sense with the rest of the show. But anyway, so they're going to do it. They're going to do. It's not going to be a complete a redo. It's going to be a continuation, I guess, in the universe that was the most recent one. We'll see. We'll see. And it's all part of the NBC Universal.
Oh, their new
streaming
streaming
service.
service.
Yeah. Every cat, we're going to have a streaming service. The issues with streaming service. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Everybody gets a streaming service. It's like Oprah. You get a streaming service. You get a streaming service.
Look under your chairs. You've got a streaming service.
Everybody has a streaming service right there under your chairs. You're going home. So yeah, I'm like, I don't know if I'll watch it. I did get the Blu-rays of, hey, there's a picture of the man. Well, now see, that's Starbuck. That is Starbuck, right? That's the true Starbuck.
Yep.
You know, to me, and it has nothing to do with being a sexist or anything like that.
No, it makes sense. It makes 100% sense.
It's like the swagger space cowboy kind of, gambler, womanizer, boozer, but he's an ace pilot kind of thing. Yeah. And when you give that same series of attributes to Katie Sackhoff, an actress who's a very competent actress and does good work,
it's not the same though.
It's not the same. It doesn't come across the same way. And she had too hard of an edge where he was always loose and kind of playful. And I think when you're doing that kind of sci-fi, it needs to be a little bit more playful. But they were doing a darker thing, and I get it. And it was, like I said, the first season was fantastic. Like, I really dug the first season. But enough Battlestar Galactica talk. Anyway, I'll wait for it. I won't subscribe. I don't think at that point I won't subscribe. But I just picked up season 1 Blu-ray of the Titans DC Comics Titans DC Universe app series, and watched the pilot. It's great. It's really good. And $20 for the whole season on Blu-ray right now. It's insane.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
That's really good.
It's really good. If we can plug it for the Overlord's sake, I got it from Amazon. And Amazon could certainly distribute issues with when we get our series put together. I have no problems with that. Yeah. But I got season 1 of Titans, and I pre-ordered season 1 of Doom Patrol, which is also $20, and it comes out in a week and a half.
Okay.
So, to me, I was like, man, this is a no-brainer. This is an easy in for me. And like I said, saw the pilot, and the pilot's really freaking good. It's pretty good. So people can check out the Titans. They're on season 2 now. I was
concerned that it was going to be a little too teeny bop, right? That's the phrase, teen bop.
Yeah. Well, the cartoons from the past 15 years or so, I think, is what people think of as the Teen Titans. Yes. They associate the cartoons and not the comics. From the same time that Chris Claremont was writing the X-Men back in the 80s is when Marv Wolfman and George Perez were doing Teen Titans, and both of those books had the same kind of tone. They were very dark and sophisticated, sort of teenage superhero soap operas. Yeah. And this TV show is more of a reflection of that than the cartoon, than Teen Titans Go. But I'm really looking forward to Doom Patrol when I get it. I get to see it because Timothy Dalton is in it as the chief in Doom Patrol. So I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's him in the picture in the wheelchair over there with the beard and all that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Doom Patrol when it comes out. So I'll give you guys updates. But yeah, go check it out if you haven't. It's well worth it. If people were hesitating because they thought, it's going to be silly or it's whatever, nope. Trust me, you're going to dig it. It's much darker and it's much more wicked than you might think. So
yeah, then I will give it a try. I'll check
it out. Not for the kids though.
No.
Say not for the kids. It's a little bit
9 p.m. and later.
A little bit more mature than that. I watched the pilot and then I had to leave, and my 16-year-old son continued watching, and then later he had finished half the season.
Oh wow!
Like in one sitting. It's like a 10-episode season. So but he blew through the first 5 episodes, without even getting up off the couch.
Nice. So it's that's some serious binge watching.
Yeah,
I've been guilty of doing that myself. It's okay.
Oh yeah. No, he knocked out season 1 and 2 of Stranger Things like the day they came out. Like, yeah, just ridiculous. But anyway, so there's that. That's some cool stuff that people can check out. Hey, we were talking about Kickstarter a minute ago. I want
Yes.
to I want to bring people up to speed since we
Yes.
last spoke. I launched the Kickstarter for the Young Robin Hood comic book.
And I'm so excited for you.
Yeah. Oh, I'm really excited about it. It's as an unknown entity doing a first time Kickstarter. I'm happy to say that we're on pace, really above where we need to be.
Yeah.
With the Kickstarter. A lot of famous people get their entire Kickstarters funded within, 48 hours or whatever. We're asking for $3,000 total.
Okay.
And basically, this pays the artist for all of the work that he's done on the book. Magnificent young artist that is here where I am in Asheville, and he has done just excellent work. It's very, and this is a tribute. Jack just put this image up. This artist from halfway around the world saw the Kickstarter. This guy that I kind of connected with, because I'm connecting with a lot of artists from around the world. This guy Raphael just sent me this 2 days into the Kickstarter and said, "Hey, I really like the look of your Kickstarter. I just did a sketch based on your artist's concept."
Oh, that's so cool, though.
It's like heard around the world, and so here's that image again right there.
That must feel really good, like when you get like
Yeah.
fan art and recognition like that. That's definitely cool.
Sight unseen too. It's like they've just seen a couple of images on the Kickstarter page and sort of read the description of the story, but people are really responding to it in a positive way. And Robin Hood is one of those, if I can use it without sounding like it's a pun, is one of those evergreen kind of stories. Where it never gets old. People always like to hear about the adventures of Robin Hood. And in this story, this is a family-friendly, all ages, works for all ages, like a classic comic book used to be. It's a story about Robin Hood as a teenager, sort of learning the things along the way to him becoming the legend. And so it's more relatable for kids, or that's our hope, is that we want kids who are in schools, maybe, who are studying medieval history, who might not be into the class that much and might not be avid readers, and they might just be kind of, and we all have known kids like this who are just like, man, they just need to find something to get their attention, to make them go, whoa, I didn't think of it this way. This is cool. And for me, when I was a kid, comic books were that. And I thought, if I could create a comic book that we could get into the hands of these kids, be they 6 years old to 16 years old, and they learn a little bit about history, they become readers, all of those things. So to that end, we have set up the Kickstarter so that every single pledge that we get, if somebody pledges to buy the book, every single book that we sell through the Kickstarter, we're going to match book for book, and we're going to donate those to high school classrooms, not high school, but just school classrooms and school libraries. We're going to start locally here where we are, but we also have some levels in the Kickstarter so that people can buy 25 copies of the book. We'll send them to you wherever you are, and you can give them to your local school.
And I'm here to tell you that come Friday, because it's payday, I will be doing that pledge, because I talked to my son's school and they were like, oh my God, that's super awesome. That's really, really good. And they want the book. So I am doing that pledge to get that book into my son's classroom. And because his classroom's kind of small, the other stack will go into the library. So
nice.
Yeah.
And that's what we want. We want them to get to kids, and that's awesome. Thank you, Kat, for jumping on, and trust me, you'll be pleased with it. It's going to be a good book.
Well, it's coming from you, so I already know it's going to be great. So.
Well, and our artist Han is just incredible. Hans Strotterman, who drew the book and colored the book, did all of the art, the lettering, and the coloring. Just really is for a first-time comic artist. I've had people, and Jack is sitting there doing all the animations for us right now. But when I started posting images of this 7 or 8 months ago, when Han was doing the work,
that's beautiful.
Jack was one of the people that hit me up and was like, dude, is this for a cartoon or something? And it's like so many people have looked at it and said this artwork is like concept art for an animated show, like an old school animated show.
That's exactly what I thought too. I knew it was for the book because we had talked about it, but it looked to me kind of old school cartoon.
Yes.
And I'm like, dang, I like this art style a lot.
It's just fantastic art, and Han, I think, is going to just blow everybody away with his talent. And it's only 20 years old, so
oh wow, really?
Try not to hate him too much, right? For being that talented, that young.
Yes.
But yeah, and it's interesting too. I discovered him when my friend Mike Grell, the artist, was here in Asheville doing some signings a year and a half ago. Han came to the signing with his mom. And there I am with Mike out at the amphitheater. Where we were actually doing a production of Robin Hood.
Yes.
He's wearing the Robin Hood hat. I'm wearing his hat. But yeah, no, Mike was here and he met Han and looked at Han's art and gave Han some pointers and really kind of inspired this kid to sort of step his game up and to rededicate himself to his craft in a way. And I was kind of touched by that. And I reached out to Han and I was like, I want to do this book and I want you to draw it. What do you say? And he said yes. And, here we are 10 months later and we've got it finished and we're raising money and we're closing in on $800 out of a $3,000 goal.
That's awesome.
So, and the way that breaks down, just in case people are like, oh, it's a scam, they're making a fortune. Roughly a third of it will go to pay the artist because artists need to be treated as professionals and need to be valued. And I wanted to make sure that Han, as a first-time experience, like you're going to be treated as a pro. This is who you are. You're a professional. We're going to treat you that way. So we're paying the artist. We didn't have to pay him up front, which is great. That was brilliant. But roughly a third of it will go to printing and shipping. And the other third of it, we have perks and all kinds of add-ons that you can, if you pledge at different levels, you can get all kinds of cool stuff, including very rare and hard to obtain painted poster by Mike Grell himself. He did a poster for us last summer that we used to raise money for charity. And we raised over $2,500 just selling $10 prints of this poster. So Mike has given that to us to use. He signed 25 of them for me a couple of weeks ago at Dragon Con. There it is, coming up on the screen. That's the Mike Grell poster there.
Oh, cool.
You can't get those anywhere else. The only place you could get them, and they had the logos on them at the show last year. You could get them if you paid $10 and donated to charity last summer.
Okay.
Otherwise, those posters don't exist anywhere else on the planet except for this Kickstarter. Mike doesn't even sell those at his convention appearances.
Oh, really?
It is the rarest of his pieces of artwork that's out there. And so we have a number of prints, and 25 of them are signed by Mike. And there's certain pledge categories you can get those in. We also, I'm quite happy to say, we've asked another artist. Mark Probst is his name. He is an artist who lives in Florida. He's done some independent comics back in the 90s. He worked for DC and Marvel quite a bit. And he's fallen on hard times now. And I think we talked about this a little bit last week, maybe. He really is struggling. And I saw some artwork of his that he posted on his Facebook page that he had done a commission for someone for $50. And it was like 8 characters. It was this great piece. It was like, oh my God. And all of his other artist friends and people who were supporting him kind of chimed in and said, dude, you have to stop underselling yourself.
Yeah.
That is way too little for that quality of work. And it just blew me away, this piece that he did. And I was one of those people that chimed in, and I was like, you need to raise your prices. But he's so desperate now to try and pay bills because of some medical issues he had that he is willing to spend 8 hours drawing a piece that he sells for $50, which is just, to think about how desperate of a situation that must be. It's a bit tragic. So I reached out to him and I said, would you do a variant cover for this Robin Hood project and a poster that's like the grown-up version of the Robin Hood characters based off of Hans Strauderman's designs? Mm-hmm. And I said, and I'm not going to pay you $50 each to do them. I'm going to actually pay you, what you're worth here to do that. And then we'll track it and make sure that off of the back end you get a commission for ever how many we sell. And then, it gives him a little bit more notice and gives him some work now. And I'm happy to say I talked to him last night, and he's still struggling, but everything is in a good place right now. And we paid him for his 2 covers that he's doing for us. So he's at a temporarily stable place, but he's able to keep working. And I'm like, this is part of the cool thing about the concept of Robinhood and the idea of doing for others and sort of giving and trying to find a positive way to do things. And I'm like, you know what? I had to do that. It's like, it was staring me in the face at that moment in time. Hey, here's an artist who's looking for work. I should hire him. Why wouldn't I hire him for this project? And so, there you go. This is some of Mark's artwork right now. I see Jack is scrolling through that's the piece he did for $50 that you're looking at right there.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And this is a creator-owned thing that he did back in the 80s, science fiction, extraterrestrial thieves kind of thing. But anyway, he's a super cool dude, and he deserves a chance to kind of get back on his feet. And we want to try to help him do that. And then I couldn't help myself, but I was put in touch with a guy who runs a company in Chicago, nonprofit, called Comic Books for Kids. And it's really cool. I was looking for Facebook pages to sort of blatantly whore my Kickstarter onto. And I was like, oh, what can I type in the search category? Comic books for kids, right? And then I'll go share on their page and all that. But I found this group, a nonprofit called Comic Books for Kids. And what they do is they give comics, kid-friendly comics, to children's hospitals and children cancer wards.
Oh. And
they got in touch, and we've been chatting, and I basically was like, you know what? We'll figure out how we're going to make sure that we send you guys 100 copies.
Oh, that's so cool.
And so there we go. And Jack pulled up their page. So this is the organization, Comic Books for Kids. You should check them out. They it's amazing work, and to put and these companies donate to their cause. And they put comics in the hands of kids who are in the hospital and who are suffering with dire illnesses. And I thought we've got to get them and become a part of this. We have to do it. So I've got a little I have a little sub Kickstarter category. I have a Facebook page or a Facebook event invite that I did that officially kicks off on September 27th and goes through October 7th. And it's called 100. Was it 100 people for $1,000 for a good cause? So I'm looking for 100 people to donate $10 a piece, which purchases the book, and for every one of those that we sell, we'll match that and send it to the Comic Book for Kids organization.
Oh, okay.
So we're doing a little mini thing inside of the Kickstarter just through social media. Okay. So if you know people, point them in the direction of that. It's a $10. Here's the thing: is like if 100 people just contributed $10 to the Kickstarter, that's $1,000, and that would enable us to meet our goal. Because with Kickstarter, if you don't meet the goal, you don't get anything.
I know.
So first of all, we've got to hit the goal, and then everything above that goal enables us to make more copies that we can then send to schools and send to organizations like Comic Books for Kids. So that's what we're doing. And if anybody's listening to this and they haven't drank themselves into a slumber, be prattle on about it, go and support this. Go and support this. 100%. And Jack pulled up a picture of me this summer. I appeared 2 nights in a row on stage filling in for an actor that had 3 lines. And so there I was this summer.
I saw that and I was like, oh, look at him.
I know. It was kind of fun.
I thought you had more lines than that, though. I didn't know how many lines you had, so I thought it was like a big role and stuff.
It was, because I co-wrote the script, and it was a scene with 2 bungling members of the sheriff's, patrol. Oh. And it was a little Monty Python-esque dialogue. Oh, that's fun. And so when the one guy was like, I've got to miss 2 shows, I was like, I'll do it. I will do those lines.
How exciting.
Because they're very fun. It's like they've got a kid and they're trying to figure out what to do with him. And one of them's like, hey, what should we do? Should we hit him? And it's like, we mean with our hands. And he's like, well, no, what do you think? It's like, we can bash him with our swords. Like, well, we knock him out. And then my my character says we could kick him, and then it's like, oh, now you're thinking, and then we get accosted by the outlaws, and the kid gets away. It's like,
oh, that's funny.
yeah. So a little silliness in the summer, but anyway, so yeah, go Kickstarter. Everybody can find Kickstarter and just type in the search box "Young Robin Hood" comic book or "Young Robin Hood." It'll probably take you there. And support it. As little as $5 will get you a digital copy, and we will also match every digital copy with a physical copy for the schools. So it doesn't matter how you pledge, we're going to match your pledge with a physical book going to a school. So that's the plan. Yeah. Anyway, so what else are we going to talk about, Kat?
Is there any breaking news? I thought, didn't you say you had breaking news?
There is. This came out today. How do you feel about the new Jurassic World movies? I loved the first Jurassic Park in 1993 when it came out. I thought it was brilliant. I thought this most recent Jurassic World movie was my favorite of the two of those.
Yeah. I like them. I enjoyed them more than I thought I was going to.
Yeah. No, me too. I was kind of poised to not like them.
Yeah, me too. I was like, I don't know how I feel about this, and then I saw them. I was like, okay, I can deal with this.
Well, and you know how Jeff Goldblum shows up in this one for like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
This most recent one. Well, they have officially announced as of today that he's coming back. Laura Dern is coming back, and Sam Neill is coming back for Jurassic World 3.
Snap. So, I did not hear that.
The original cast is back for the next Jurassic World movie.
So cool.
And you know, the concept of the new one is at the end of the last one, spoilers if anybody didn't see it, all of the dinosaurs got loose in America. So the concept of this new one is that dinosaurs are now reintroduced to the planetary ecosystems, and humans and everything else have to live in a world where dinosaurs. You know, it's like I live in Asheville, so every now and again people see bears come into their neighborhoods looking for food. Yeah. It's the equivalent of the bears, basically. It's like, what would it be like, Kat, if you're at home one night and you're watching, you're Netflixing and chilling, and you hear a T-Rex walking by your window.
I would lose my shit.
Heavy on the glass, right?
No, I would lose my shit. I'd be like, where can I hide? And I would probably get squished. I feel like I wouldn't survive anything like zombie apocalypse, like the end of the world. I'm like not a survivalist, so I feel like I'd be the first to go.
Oh no! Come on now.
So I would be gardening, and my luck would be that the foot would hit me. And I get squished. Like that'd be my thing.
So, but that's the concept of the next Jurassic World movie.
Cool, though.
Dinosaurs just down the street.
There's the Jeff Goldblum we all know and love.
There we go. Jeff Goldblum. That's the only time, by the way, that he has authentically been sexy. Before that, he was a nerd. After that, he was a nerd. That was the only time.
He wasn't so bad in the movie The Fly.
Well, true, I guess, but he was definitely not sexy in The Fly.
He tried.
He tried. There. Yeah.
This is the Jeff Goldblum I like. I like the old
slightly crazy. Yeah.
And I also like the silver hair. I am a sucker for silver hair. I love a man with silver hair. I'm like,
oh, I see. Okay, so you're one of those gals. Okay.
Yeah, I am Silver Fox all the way.
All right. Well, he's working it now.
Yes.
There we go. See, he's not so sexy. Not so sexy.
Not that part now.
Yeah. But no, now he's just like eccentric and crazy. He's like he's taken the Alec Baldwin path of stardom in his late life, where he's just like, I'm just going to be quirky and weird, and I'll do TV commercials for apartments.com.
Yes, that was the one that threw me off when I saw that apartments.com commercial. And I'm like, what are you doing with your life, Jeff? Like,
I thought it was like, I was like, if you go there, it's going to be a fake website advertising some movie of his. And it's like, no, he was shelling for For apartments.com, I was like, what? Okay, whatever.
I thought the same thing too. I was like, is this like a new movie role? And then it was like the end, and I'm
Nope.
like, oh no, this is like a real thing. What is this? Like it threw me off too. I'm glad I wasn't the only one that thought that at first too. I was like, what is this?
Yep.
Look, you see,
That's it right there.
I don't know what it is about like the silver hair look. It's just so refined and so sophisticated. I like it.
And just by the way, we'll also take ad support and money from apartments.com if they want to advertise on our show. Just, we'll take that. There we go. Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so and he was great in Thor Ragnarok. I mean, come on, he's making the best of his career, and God love him for doing it. But he'll be back, and I can't wait. I'm really excited to see all three of them back in that movie. I think.
Me too.
Yeah, for sure. All right, and that was really the only real movie news that I had this week. I saw a trailer for the new Star Wars movie, which was just recycled bits from that D23 footage that came out, which I thought was a cheat. I thought, wait a minute, there's a new Star Wars commercial, and I was like, it's all the same footage that I've already seen. So I'm not sure what's up with that, but I'm still waiting. I think we're probably couple weeks away from like a big ass Star Wars trailer coming out. Feel like that's got to be in the offing at some point real soon. And then of course the Joker movie comes out next week, and we can finally see what that's all about. Joaquin Phoenix walked out of a press interview over the Joker last weekend, I think, on a press junket, when they were asking him a question about did he think that the movie could potentially be dangerous, that people would see it and try to emulate the violence in it? And he got really upset by that question and got up and walked out, but apparently made nice with the reporter later, and they were able to kind of finish the interview. But you could tell it really apparently rattled him that there's a lot of talk that's starting to pop up in different corners of the media that are kind of saying, oh, this movie is so intense. And he is so good in this role that it could inspire people to emulate what happens in the movie, which apparently it's, I mean, spoilers, and we haven't even seen it, but we know where this goes, right? That this down on his luck guy eventually becomes a mastermind of some sort of criminal activity and may be inspiring terrorist type violence. And apparently it's so well done that people are getting worried that audiences will see it and then follow suit with similar ideas. So,
and I can't remember if it was the writer or the director of it who came out and said it's not fair for you guys to automatically think this, because violent movies have been around for forever. Absolutely. You can't just automatically assume that this one movie is going to do that when other but more violent movies haven't done that.
Right. It's part of being in a responsible society and not having to bear the responsibility for the unstable people. Though I will admit that in the past, I don't know, couple of years, especially, the more unstable among us have been much more prevalent and vocal, and at least we know where they are. They let us know that they're out there. But
exactly.
you go back and you look at John Hinckley Jr. Having been inspired by Taxi Driver, the movie Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
Like obsessed with Jodie Foster, who's now old enough to be a grandmother. She was a teenager in that movie, so folks can do the math. The dude tried to assassinate President Reagan because of delusions he got after seeing Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
There was some ridiculous, I want to say like it was like in the late 90s, some movie with maybe like Wesley Snipes, Woody Harrelson or something. God, I can't remember the name of it. It was not a success. It was not even a good movie, but they were criminals. And they were robbing the cashiers and the subway stations. Like they were robbing the
and Jennifer Lopez was in it. Oh, what is the name of that movie?
Yeah. It was a shit movie, but there was a scene. Yeah, there was a scene in it where they like discharged like gasoline through the window of the booth and then ignited it to chase the booth attendant out or something like that. And some dumbass actually tried it in the New York
Wait, what
subway.
was
Like after, I want to say it's like the late '90s, '99 maybe, or somewhere in there, 2000 maybe. I don't remember it. It's not important because it was a shitty movie. But yes, some idiot will see something in a movie and then they'll go try it. And then they made those jackass movies, which were basically saying the idiots are in the movie, and now you're idiots because you're going to go try it. So there's nothing new under the sun. So I think it's unfair because I was not looking forward to the Joker as much as I am now.
Yeah.
Now that there's buzz behind it, because I think whether on purpose or by accident, they may have made an astonishingly good movie, and it may be uncomfortable for us as sane people to watch and realize that it's Money Train. That's the one. Look at that. I had Wesley and Woody right there. Money Train. That was the one.
Money Train, yeah.
Yeah. See, I knew if we didn't know it, Jack would know it. His taste was, of course, going to run it, right? See, he's off camera. No, he's shaking his head now. I was going to see what we could do to draw him out. Oh.
I'm just trying to educate you guys. I don't even know if you can hear me.
Yes,
yeah, we got you.
can.
Yeah, there we go. We were just baiting the hook to see if he would play. All right.
Yep.
So anyway, I mean, honestly, I think a lot of people saying Joker could get nominated for Best Picture, and Joaquin Phoenix could get nominated for Best Actor. And some of those same people are saying that this movie is so good that they could win. And wouldn't that be something? So we'll have to just wait and see. I am going to go see it. I did see a movie this past weekend. I don't suggest seeing it unless you're really high when you see it, because apparently everybody that made it was really high while making it. It was the Brad Pitt movie Ad Astra. Yeah. It was good, but it was one of those ponderous science fiction movies that kind of plods along, you know.
I
And
saw
clearly,
two this weekend, but mine was a little on the bougie side. I went and saw Downton Abbey.
well, so did most everybody else apparently, because it was #1 movie. It beat Rambo 6 or whatever, and Ed Astra. By the way, Rambo, the guy who created Rambo, the original author, the guy his last name's Morrell, hates the new Rambo movie and has been on a Twitter, rampage, disowning it.
I did not know that. Oh my God. Now I have to go look it up.
Yep.
I love a good Twitter dysfunction.
Oh yeah. There are plenty of people who've been like tweeting him about it, and his responses has been as simple as like, "I hated this movie." Period. That's it. Yeah. So, and he's written a dissertation about it where he's just saying everything that's wrong with it. So, and I hear it's bad. I hear it's really bad. There it is. Rambo. Yo, Rambo, hey, whatever. So it's like that character has long outlived his use, I believe, in our society. But anyway, I'm not going to go see that. I don't suggest anybody go see Ad Astra particularly. But if you're into Downton Abbey, apparently that's the bomb right now. Downton Abbey, a bunch of dowdy Brits in dinner jackets kicked the ass of Brad Pitt and Sylvester Stallone this past weekend. So good for them. Good for them.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with comic books or science fiction, though. But you know what? I know a lot of nerds who are also Downton Abbey freaks. So
me,
and you're one of them. You're one of them. I watched maybe 2 or 3 episodes of it. I guess I don't know. Whatever gets you there. I guess it's all good.
I have the whole the Blu-ray collectible edition with the behind the scenes stuff. Like I'm a nerd through and through with everything.
The big question for you, Kat, do you have any Downton Abbey pops?
I do not, because I don't think they made any.
Well, I don't know why not. They make every other kind of pop. They should make one of those.
Know, right? They should. I would totally get it.
So Funko, if you want, we just gave you a golden idea. We'll take a reasonable commission for it. How about that?
Just
Kat
75%.
Yeah, 75%. And Kat gets a free pop of every one that you put out.
And I get all of them. Yeah.
There you go.
Yes.
She gets them all. Free pops.
Oh, and I'm going to Asheville for my birthday because they have a Downton Abbey exhibit in February.
Go for it. That's right. It starts November 7th, I think, and runs through April.
And Yep, and for my birthday, I'll be going, so I'm excited.
All right, when's your birthday?
February 7th.
Oh, okay. We right smack in the middle of it. All right. Well, good. Well, we got to hang out when you get here.
Yes, we'll go and have lunch or something.
We'll do it for sure. We'll go pop shopping.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
I know. Don't tell your husband. Okay.
No,
All right.
especially now.
What else? I don't think we have anything else this week. We're gonna have a guest. We have some guests coming up. Jack has been lining up some guests for us in the near future, so look for announcements for that.
Yep.
That's going to be very, very cool. Some famous names and actors and TV and comic books, and well, you know the shtick. That's who we are. That's what we do. But I think that's it, right? That's going to do it for this week.
Yeah.
Nothing else. Nothing else will get us in trouble. And this might be the shortest show we've done. It's only coming in at like 48 minutes instead of an hour. So there you go.
I'm proud of us. We're getting there.
We're getting there. We're getting there. All right. It's good stuff. Hey, thanks, everybody. There you go. There's the pops. No, I don't see any Downton Abbeys in there. Yeah. Anyway, that's the breakdown. We'll see you next time.